Believe me, our whole batch followed this procedure and we all got extraordinary marks such as 98, 99 and even 100. So hey guys, welcome back to your own channel with an all new video on the last minute tips and tricks for your Icse English Literature board exam. This video will be a quick video in which I will try my level best to cover all the doubts related to this exam preparation and answering. So please watch the whole video till the end. And before I begin, I would like to say you all something. First of all, when you prepare your syllabus, my first advice to you is to select your best two parts from your literature paper. For example, you know there are 3 sections in your paper and you have to attempt one question compulsorily from all the 3 sections and the rest 2 of your own choice. So what I recommend you all is to choose your best 2 sections, be it be story and poems, poems and play, or even story and play. The reason why I am telling so is only because in your original board exam, you will attempt 4 questions from your best 2 sections. So why not choose them prior to the exam, refine them and constantly improve our writing skills in answering those questions. But listen, you will not leave the preparation of the rest portion. All you have to do is to give less focus to it. For example, let's suppose you chose play and story. So you will not leave the poem portion. What you will do is to give less focus to that part. Now let's come on to the points which we would be covering in the whole video, and these are how to use the first 15 minutes of reading time, the best sequence order in which we must attempt our paper, section-wise analysis and super tips, important chapters in each section, what does the examiner demand from you in your paper, best books to follow at this very moment, 5 quick super tips for this exam preparation, some time management tips, and the very important, how to write the answers in such a way that you get 16 out of 16 marks in each and every section you attempt. So without any delay, let's move on to the first 15 minutes reading time usage. What I strongly recommend you all is to again apply that 10-5 rule. Now what this rule states is that you will use your first 10 minutes clearly devoting to your best 2 parts. For example, you choose that you are best in stories and play. So in the first 10 minutes, you will clearly see those 2 sections and will choose your best 2 questions out of each section such that you have those 4 questions in your mind which you will attempt in the paper. Now in the rest 5 minutes, you will clearly devote this whole duration in choosing that 5th question which you will attempt in your weaker portion. The reason why I am giving 5 minutes to choose a single question is only because you are choosing a question from your weaker portion. So make sure that you use whole of your brain in those 5 minutes to select the best question. Like here in our example given above, the rest portion was poem section. So you will completely utilize those 5 minutes in choosing that single question out of those 3 questions in your poem section. But always choose that very question in which you know you can write umpteen number of points. Now let's come on to the best sequence order in which we must attempt our paper. So what I used to do is that first of all I attempted one question from all the 3 sections and then move on to the rest 2 questions left from my best parts. The only main reason why I used to follow this very procedure is that generally the English literature exam requires a lot of time management abilities. So attempting one question from each section relaxes you to a great extent because after that you are left with the best 2 questions of your choice. So now in this scenario you perceive to have enough time to attempt those 2 rest questions. Another reason is that since they are the best questions of your choice, so you have all the points required for that answer pre-installed in your brain. Now all you have to do is to express those points in that piece of paper. So you don't have to think much while writing those last 2 answers. See, this was only a suggestion to you. It's completely your will and wish to follow whichever procedure that seems best to you. Now let's come on to the section-wise analysis. First of all, we will begin with the drama section or Merchant of Venice. So here, in addition to reading the whole play, what I want from you all is that you must have a thorough knowledge of all the characters in this drama. For this, I strongly recommend you all to first carefully look at the character sketch given on the first pages of your textbook. Second thing is to know the theme and genre of the play and how it is reflected in each and every act of this drama. Also make sure that you read the critical appreciation and plot part given in your drama workbook of each and every scene very carefully. The third and one of the most important thing is that you must have a great knowledge of the technical words used in every scene at your fingertips. Because if you add those technical words in your answers wherever necessary, you will definitely get a 16 on 16 in each and every question of section A of your paper. And at last, the very important thing is to have the knowledge of the things which happened just before and just after the important dialogues of all the scenes. As you all know, there are such type of questions which state what happened just before and just after this conversation. So make sure you have a perfect knowledge of the past and future conversations of every important dialogue in all of your scenes. If we talk about the twin sections of your paper, that is the poems and stories, here the most important thing to memorize is the character sketches of each and every character shown in all stories. A deep knowledge is greatly required. The most important thing which you have to know in almost every poem is the literary devices used, its appropriateness of the title, critical appreciation and significance of the poems in today's world. I still remember an answer in which the literary device used was oxymoron. So these are very important things, and if you will write these things in your answers wherever necessary, you will definitely get full marks. Poems and stories generally require the main ideas on which the whole scenario revolves. Once you get those points, you can easily write your answers. So please refine your basics of one topic completely before you move on to the next topics. Now let's come on to the important chapters in each section. First is the Merchant of Venice drama. So here you must give more focus on the trial scene, Act 4 Scene 1, ring scene, Act 5 Scene 1, suitor scene in which Portia is introduced to a number of suitors, and the Prince of Aragon scene. These scenes have a much higher probability to appear in your board exams, so make sure you have these scenes at your fingertips. If we talk about stories and poems, I must say that the treasure trove book which you have now was introduced in the year 2019, the last year in which I gave my exam. So one cannot actually guess what topics are important, although you can give less focus on After Blenheim, The Patriot, 9 gold medals in poem section, Face and Dark, All Summer in a Day, and my greatest Olympic prize in prose section. The reason why I am telling so is only because these poems and stories appeared in the 2019 board exams. And the Icse board generally does not repeat the same chapters in 2 successive years. See, poems and stories generally do not take as much time as the drama section usually takes. So it means that you can revise and build more concepts of poems and stories in less duration of time. And even if you want me to suggest any poems and stories where more focus is required, I would definitely say that those are Bengal Sailors, Daffodils, The Cold Within in poem section, Horse and Two Goats, Hearts and Hands, and Angel in Disguise in prose section. Once again, I must say that these are only my best suggestions to you all. Rest is in your hands. If we talk about what the examiner demands from your paper, that is obviously your points and your thorough knowledge of the whole paper. The checking is also based on the points asked in the question. More the relevant points, the more marks you get. Never dare to take shortcuts while writing your answer. Give the full explanations wherever required. The examiner generally looks for the technical words which you use in your answers. So make sure you use formal language in your answers, and please don't use abbreviations. Those are strictly prohibited. Also, if you have your handwriting and paper presentation good and up to the mark, you can even score greater marks, as these things provide a positive image of you upon the examiner. If we talk about the best books to follow at this moment, those are obviously your textbooks, the explanation portion of your workbooks, plus, as you all know, very important, the past 10-year question papers. Since the poems and stories were introduced last year only, so you can even get the sample papers from online in order to practice for them. Now let's come on to the last very interesting topics. So the first is the 5 quick super tips which you must follow in order to prepare well and rock in the exam. These will be quick tips, so make sure you write them on some paper or on your notes. So these are: first, dream big and act now. Don't procrastinate. Don't ever neglect technical words used in every scene, story and poem. Always try to remember English literature in your visual memory, as it is retained for a much longer time. don't ever neglect the past year sample papers solving. And the most important, don't think too much about the syllabus. Believe me, once you will start it, you will automatically gain more and more confidence. Only a determined push is required from within. So now, as you all know that your paper is of 2 hours. So make sure that we will not spend more than 20 minutes in any question that we will attempt, with 3 to 4 minutes as an extra time or a buffer. But 20 minutes means 20 minutes. Well, do you know generally why can't we complete our paper in time? The reason is very simple. When we start writing our paper, we start from long answer writing. At the very start of the paper, we generally spend much time in attempting even a single question. And that's the main reason that we panic in the whole exam. Panicking is a big trap which eats you over and over and doesn't let your brain to work. So the very important time management tip is to write medium answers of appropriate length and appropriate points. Don't keep on thinking about a single question for so much time. If you have any doubt regarding any answer, just circle that question on a question paper and move on to the next question. What happens mostly is that while we start answering the other questions, our subconscious mind generally generates an answer for our left question. So please make sure that you use your 2 hours time very efficiently. And this will only come by practicing more and more number of questions in a given duration. Now let's reveal the art of answer writing such that we get 16 out of 16 marks in each and every question we attempt. So before I begin, let's talk about the 2 types of questions asked in your board exam. First type is of 4 questions, in which the first 3 questions are of 3 marks and the 4th question is of 4 marks. The other category is 8-4-4 type questions. So here what I strongly recommend you all is to never go for that 8-4-4 type question unless and until there is no other question for you to attempt. See, the 8 marker questions are very dangerous because here you do not know how many points to write and what does the examiner actually demand from you in that answer. So please don't go for that type of question until you have no other option left. Now the first thing which will bring you more marks is obviously your handwriting and writing skills. So make sure while you write your answers, you write them clear and neat. Also, don't write all the parts of a single question in a single paragraph. Always separate each and every part from the other by means of paragraph. For example, if there is a question such as, where does the scene take place? Who is the speaker? So these are 2 different parts. Here you will answer both questions in different paragraphs. If it is possible, write relevant quotations in the answers of stories and poems wherever necessary. Underline the keywords in your written answer. Don't write the whole story behind a single part. Write only those points which are asked and relevant. Unnecessary lines usually irritate the examiner. Your each and every answer must be categorized into 3 parts, in which the first part is introduction. So here you will briefly tell about the story or the paragraph given in the question. You will also introduce the main characters of that dialogue given to you. The second part is points answering. So here you will clearly write all the points and will highlight the keywords in your answer. Properly describe the incident which is asked and try to use different vocabulary in your answer only at some places. The third and the last part is ending your answers. So here you will end the answer in 2 to 3 lines in which the important and necessary conclusions will be written. Trust me, this is the best way to answer all the questions in your English literature exam. Believe me, our whole batch followed this procedure and we all got extraordinary marks such as 98, 99 and even 100. It's very fascinating that more than 15 students of our school got 100 on 100 in their English literature exam by following such procedure. One very important note. We will not write our self-made points or our observations until and unless it is clearly asked in the question. We will give our views only if it is asked. Irrelevant point answering usually hinders your marks. So with this note, we end up our video. Please share this video to at least your 2 friends if you really like this video. Also, Extremely thanks for giving such support on our last video in which we got approximately 8.3k views. That's amazing, guys. Also comment in the comment section of this video how much marks you desire to score and how's your preparation going on. I will meet you soon on another interesting video based upon your own comments. So till then, stay happy, stay fit, all the very best, and always remember, dream big, act now and start small. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.